Sometimes I like to decorate my pots after they've been bisqued, which is something I tell my students not to do if they're going to be using underglazes. But I was going to use cobalt oxide and red art and some water, which makes an absolutely gorgeous blue, and here's the pattern I ended up painting on my pot. Now, I have to be very careful not to touch the decorations at this point, because if I do and I slide my hand across the pot, I will not only remove the cobalt there, but I will make a smudge. So I'm being very careful handling it, making sure I have my hands in just the right spot to now pop glaze this pot in some blue Celadon. Every once in a while, my pop glazing goes badly, like this time, and I do a quick check here to make sure I glaze the entire inside, and I missed a spot, and I don't normally recommend just going back in and pop glazing again, but with this glaze, I know it can handle being a little bit thicker, so I did, and it worked out beautifully. I then set this down to dry and brought it back to touch up my fingerprints, and then carefully wipe off the bottom. And yes, this pot that I brought back is actually different than the one I was just glazing, but the process was identical. I just carefully touched up my fingerprints with a little bit of glaze and then used a sponge to clean all of the glaze up off of the foot, which just takes a couple of seconds. And then this pot was ready to go and get loaded into the kiln and be fired to cone 10 in reduction.